What's going on YouTube? Bryce Crispy94 here, bringing you another miniature painting video. And this time we have a Minotaur army that we will be speed painting with Army Painter Speed Set. Now, I still only have Mega Set 1. I will be getting Mega Set 2.0, but it's a bit pricey. And I'm saving for other stuff. That's a little more important. So, let's check out these figures. These figures are Yasashii Kyojin Studio Minotaurs from their Book of Beasts, Book of Monsters, their Kickstarter campaign they did. I pledged to. We've seen a couple things from it. The skeletons from my skeleton army and the lizard folk from my lizard folk army. So now we're going to tackle the Minotaurs. So they have this awesome big monster sized Minotaur here. Oh yeah, I did go ahead, gave these a gray prime and then a nice white dry brushing. We're going to do a slap chop. I kind of like I've experimented with slap chop a lot, and one of my favorite ways is prime gray, dry brush white. It's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to do the full prime black, dry brush gray, dry brush white. So I just skip the black sometimes. And with these, I had already primed them gray, because I printed these a long time ago before slap chop was the thing, or before I knew about slap chop, so that's another reason they're gray. But here they are, and then we'll do some stuff with the bases. Probably give them, kind of like a brown base with some stuff, just the basic base. I'm not going to go into too much detail. But very cool figure, monstrous size, those big old axes, the skulls hanging from him. Minimum armor. And then we will also be doing this guy who's kind of in that head charging position. He's got some bones and skulls strapped to him as well. No weapons though. Getting some white off of the dry brushing. He gets a little Minotaur butt. I think that's funny. Dogs are freaking out, so sorry if you hear them barking. Oh, there they go. Then we got this guy with his awesome maul. Holding some skulls right there, which I do believe I accidentally broke that off and re-glued it. And I glued it to his foot so it would stay a little better. And then we have the final guy with his trident, which I kind of think is weird that he's got a trident, but I don't know. Super excited to get these guys painted up. But I do want to talk about one thing. So, a few weeks ago, I did a review on Baphomet, the Minotaur's Demon Lord. And I talked about how do Minotaurs work now that they're, an actual playable race in the Forgotten Realms lore, not just Theros and Ravinka, which were Magic the Gathering campaigns. Like, Mordenkainen's introduced straight up Minotaur player characters to the Forgotten Realms. Can't find a lot of lore on that. It's almost like Wizards kind of wants us to forget about these guys and just have these guys. I've decided that's stupid. So in any game that you see on my channel or I will play in real life, there are two types of Minotaurs. There will be these normal Minotaurs, and then there will be these monstrous Minotaurs who will be normal Minotaurs who have pledged themselves to Baphomet. These will continue to be created by the someone from Planescape that have people excited about Planescape, but now we know Planescape's coming. They will continue to be that, but should they decide to go down a darker path, they can pledge their soul to Baphomet and be magically transformed into the more monstrous versions, because I just think that's actually pretty sweet. Now with these guys, my lore behind them will be: this one has pledged himself, and he has gathered these as his servants. Because you don't, as someone who has already empowered himself, you don't want your servants to be just as strong as you, so they will be weaker versions. So that's my fun history lesson with Minotaurs. We may do a Monster Corner on it if we decide to continue that series. It's been a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Let's get to paint. And we are back. The Minotaur army is finished. I will reveal them here in a second, but first, if you have not, hit that thumbs up button to let me know you enjoy this video, leave a comment to let me know how I'm doing, and subscribe if you're not already, because that's how you see more of these wonderful painting videos. So the first Minotaur we have here is the one I did in Army Painter Speed Paints Gravelord Gray. I chose a different speed paint for each Minotaur skin color or fur color, I guess. Yeah, Minotaur furry, right? Cows are furry. Anyway, so the Gravelord Gray, I think it turned out really well. I really enjoy this color, especially over a slap chop method. I think it pops really well. It gets dark where it needs, light where it needs. Although it did leave some bubbles in some areas, which it normally does not. There's one there, there's one here. There's one right on this forehead, if you guys can see. Another thing I did with this one, I used the Zealot Yellow for the yellow there. And this goes for all the Minotaurs you'll see. Pallid bone for their horns, any skeletal features they have on them, and their hooves. Hardened leather for any rope or strap. Vallejo gun metal for any metals. And Reaper wood stain brown for the handles of their weapons, as well as Citadel's Ural leather yellow. Man, I cannot say this. Citadel Ural yellow for their eyeballs on all of them except for the large mini. He's a little different. So yeah, this one turned out pretty well. The bases were a bit of a problem for me. I used Martian Iron Earth, remembered, oh yeah, that dries pretty red. That's fine. So then I went with Dirt Splatter. I added the rocks to it, painted the rocks Dirt Splatter, made a wash out of Reaper's wood stain, or sorry, Shield Brown, let that dry, and then hit it with Army Painter Strong Tone Wash. And that is the base you see before you. I'm decently happy with it. It looks better on the next figure than it does on this figure. So let's go ahead and show that Minotaur off, which is my favorite of the bunch. This one is dark wood for its skin tone, and then what is that called? Wolf gray? No. Runic gray for its loincloth piece. I think this one is the best. I like the base on it. It's subtle. You can see all the different colors peeking through. So that makes it look more realistic. Got his eyes. His eyes are a little harder. That one you can see a little better. I really like that pose right there. The horns came through perfectly. The bones on his armor. You can see where I broke the tail. I think, let's see, I broke that one's tail. I broke that off. I broke this one's tail like 2 times, as you guys can see. So the tails were very fragile on these guys, but I learned my lesson and stopped grabbing them so hastily. So moving on to the third Minotaur that I have dubbed the Mangy Minotaur, and that is because I used Crusader skin, thinking, oh, it should be kind of more brown. It wasn't. It was not. I tried multiple attempts to fix it. And it didn't work. So I ended up doing a wash of the strong tone on it, and it made it worse because it did give it more of a brown look, but it still has those fleshy bits peeking through. So I've dubbed it the Mangy Minotaur. Its loincloth is done in Malignant Green, by the way. It was my least favorite one, so I'm not too upset that it turned out so poorly. But here we are, the crown jewel, the king of the Minotaur army. And he is massive, and he is bulky, and he is here to split skulls. I gave him eyes with the glistening blood, which gives it that nice kind of evil looking glow. I almost gave him like red tipped horns, but I was like, no, I want it to look evil but realistic at as realistic as a Minotaur would be. I don't want this to be like a supernatural Minotaur. I just want a straight Minotaur. So this one is the Grim Black with the Slaughter Red for its loincloth skirt thing. It is my favorite. So the horns are also Grim Black, but then Pallid Bone over the top. And that's why you can kind of see that brownish, bonish color coming through. Really good there in some spots. But yeah, awesome miniatures. Really like them all. They all have just like pretty solid pose. Most of them are side shot poses. This, I don't know about that one. This one's best pose is straight on, maybe more like this, so you can see those eyes barreling down at you. But yeah, really enjoyed these figures. Love getting to use speed paint. I love using speed paints on these little armies like this because I can knock them out really quickly. Shout out to Yasashii Kyojin Studios for these awesome designs. That's about it for this one. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.